Hello everyone. It's been another million years since my last video in English. However, it's a beautiful evening over Ireland. It's a very warm sunset. It's nearly middle May now, and I just thought to myself, okay, I'll take some time and I'll give you guys sort of a update on how I'm doing on a full year on OCREVUS. So if you're new here, please help this channel. Help me figure out which language should I use for the content. Would it be Romanian or English? Either one. I still didn't figure out my mind. Please feel free to subscribe, give me a like, a comment. Every interactions on this channel encourages me to post more content. Well, not only encourages me, but if it could give me some more extra time, that would be great. But happy, blessed, and grateful with the one that I have. Just a quick reminder, it is I'm Alex. I have multiple sclerosis, the relapsing remitting kind of multiple sclerosis. I have reached 10 years this year since my diagnosis. It's been a lot of up and down. The ones that have followed my channel and have had a listen to the English version videos would be familiar with the fact that things have been up and down and good and steady for a while, and then hitting rock bottom again and things getting confusing and scary. But I got to the point where I made peace with myself, and I have finally and eventually agreed on being started on OCREVUS last year. Being the fact that after, that would have been 9 years last year since my diagnosis and 3 treatment attempts. I was on Tecfidera for a number of years, then I was switched on to Vumerity, which would have been from the same kind of range, and it was easy to move on to. And eventually I am now being put through OCREVUS. I had to take a decision because after so many years, but in the same time not as many years if we take it by the multiple sclerosis diagnosis, I am in the initial kind of phases of secondary progressive. As you well know, the ones that are facing the relapsing remitting form, or if you guys are at the beginning of your investigations and they are obviously leading to the multiple sclerosis diagnosis, you would be wondering how far can that get. Now, if you are a relapsing remitting patient or a patient to be, or you have a loved one that has a relapsing remitting form, the worst that it can get, it's secondary progressive, and even that is manageable. And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes years. And anyway, they do call it secondary progressive, but being a degenerative condition, a chronic degenerative condition, multiple sclerosis will eventually get somewhat worse in time, more difficult to manage, let's say, and will have a greater impact on our quality of life due to the number of lesions that we are to develop throughout the years. But there's new medication. It's 2026. It's the new era, the new millennium, everything. It's okay. We can only do as much, and we can keep our hopes up and our faith in our beloved one and only forever and ever, before and after God, or the universe, or however you call it. Feel free to call it however you want, but please, I strongly advise you to believe. And You know what they say, every little helps. And if belief is not doing anything wrong, but it could give you a hand, then go for it. Yeah, I'm a positive kind of person. You guys, that the ones that have watched my content in English as well as in Romanian. If you don't understand Romanian, there are a couple of videos made in English. Would be familiar with the fact that I am quite a resilient, positive kind of person. That's in my build, that's in the way I am, and I highly recommend. It's easier said than done, but it can be done. Even if you are not born this way, it can be done. On one side of the screen you guys are going to see videos looping of me. I actually made them today on how I walk on my garden and on even grounds. So that's me 10 years past the initial diagnosis of relapsing remitting. So I'm going to OCREVUS. Now, how has OCREVUS been for the last year? I had 2 infusions, the initial one that took place in 2 phases, and then a very full one, complete with everything, the long one, the 5 hours one, sometime in December last year. I've been delayed for a month. I could feel it in every bone of my body, in every nerve of my body, in every neuron of my body. I was disadvantaged by the fact that I've been delayed in the process of being organized for a full infusion. I'm not sure. There should be a video with the whole adventure, the whole up and down thing. It did took place. It was easier than they thought. They made it a big deal, but actually I ended up being a very good patient. Told them nothing wrong can happen. Sure, God was there with me, and I've done okay. I've been okay throughout the full infusion. It lasted 4 or 5 hours, and I kept a big bottle of 2 liters of water with me, and I was even told I don't actually need to sip in so often, as I was mostly up and down from the toilet. I would walk with the stick with me to the toilet. I would be, and everybody will be wondering, what on earth is happening? What are they giving to her? Is she going to pass everything to the toilet? So the nurse advised that actually some people don't drink at all, to just their coffee, their tea in the breaks, and maybe just a small bottle of water. While from Dublin, at the initial 2-phase infusion, I was told, recommended to have with me a big bottle of water. So, having said that, the second infusion was less troublesome. I did had the accommodation time. I did needed a couple of weeks to get back to see where do I stand, what's the thing. I didn't have any side effects. I can't say that it worked magic. I think what's working magic, it's the trick that they give us steroids before the infusion itself, and that definitely helps, because afterwards I have to say that I had the 2 best days in my life ever since the prior to diagnosis. I was very energetic. I was able to do so many things. Indeed, sleep was a problem for a couple of nights. I would fall asleep late and wake up randomly in the middle of the night, but then fall asleep suddenly over the day a number of times. So I kind of gave myself the couple of weeks from the infusion to see where do I stand, and overall it's been good. No freaky crazy side effects. I've actually had medical intervention afterwards, and things went on smoothly from that point of view. It was for a different medical situation. I hope I'll have time and I'll make up my mind and organize it and make a video about that as well. It would be very helpful nowadays. It's been quite a journey from that perspective for me. So this OCREVUS thing, I was so scary. It wasn't that bad. It was easier than how they warned me it's going to be. Oh my God, what if, what's that? No. If on the first infusion I did had a bit of tightness in the throat and a bit of itchiness and red itchy ears, none of it on the full infusion. I was no swallowing problems, no tightness, no nothing. I slept and I relaxed. I listened to prayers. I've done whatever I had postponed, and it was a good time since nobody wanted anything else from me than just to stay on that recliner, and it's been good. If you see cats wandering around, that's one of my 4. If you hear noises on the background, it's the cats, one of the 4, or all of them at once. So in regards to how long the magic infusion effect lasts, it was still hard for me to figure out. Like from the initial one, I have seen that it took me a couple of weeks, as I said, to get balanced with myself and see where do I stand. And then I had maybe 6 weekish, 6, 7 altogether, not more than that, of very good manageable mobility with the awareness that I'm used with my limpness, with my clumsiness, with my fatigue, but still more manageable. And then it started to decline quite quick. As I was told, sure, it's going to be hard for the first month, and again hard in the last month prior to it. However, for me, if I was very honest, I said to them, guys, I put my hand on my heart, maybe it was 7 weeks that I really felt a difference, that I could see, oh, something has happened to me. They gave me something and something must have worked. After the first full infusion, because the very first one would have been in 2-phased, but then in December I got the full one, so that would have been the first full one. Again, as I said at the beginning, I needed a couple of weeks, not that much, because they gave me steroids and that helped. And I needed to see, where do I go? Where do I stand? What's going to happen to me? Will I see the benefits? Are things going to start clicking just like that? So I used the first couple of weeks to just take my time. Then I had a journey booked in abroad, and I kind of scheduled it knowing that around that time, which would have been 2 months after, I would still be under the fresh effect of the new infusion, and I stand more odds that I'll be able to take the journey and manage myself and carry on and everything that I had to do. So I did so, and I can say that it was manageable. I did okay. I was able to walk. Well, I didn't walk the whole time that I was abroad. I did take a taxi, and I found it convenient to call the taxi as close to me as possible. But if I needed to walk, I did take a walk, and I forced myself a little bit. I pushed myself as much as I could, but still keeping my energy levels. And I enjoyed. I took as much advantage as possible, and I made the body do the job as much as possible. And it did me good. Said and done, I was back, and I had to take another journey in about a month and a half time. And I have to say that the second journey physically was not as easy as the first one. So I would have already been 4 months after the treatment, and I could see it in the way that I would have walked, in the way that I would have resisted to effort. It was more challenging, more hard. I did it, but I can definitely say that it was harder than the first journey that took place in the first 2 months from the infusion. So the second one was not disappointing. I was happy to be able and to get as much done. I was grateful with whatever I would have been able to get sorted. But even so, from a mobility point of view, I could see that I'm heading on to the 5th, 6th month, and my batteries are running low. And so I returned back home within a week. I decided to adjust and the timing, and I came back home earlier. I did well with flights. I had 4 flights in just a couple of months. A lot of walking madness, airports, a lot of extrasensorial overload. It was the sensory overload. That was a big thing. People, noises, everything, and everybody wanting you and needing you to be aware and patient and attentive and on the move when needed. You guys know airports and journeys and traveling. Plus, I had to take care of my son. He's a wonderful young man, but has a bit of a need of a special support, special help. So I was the one in charge, me out of all people in the world. So with God above, we made it in and out. But from an OCREVUS point of view, after full infusion, yes, go into the 4th, 5th, and now I'm 3 weeks away from the second full infusion. Things started to feel like the battery are running down, like it's just not the same vibe, the same boost that you get for the first couple of weeks, first couple of months. So I'm still okay-ish. I have managed to as much as I could do things in my life that were needed. It took me longer to go on top of them and get them done, but the way I did it is I stuck to them, I kept at them, and you just don't ask too much from you. You're happy with as much as you can. So if I have 2 things on the list for the day, for the week, 2 major things that need me and I would need to have done, or they need my attention and involvement, if I get 1 done, I'm grateful. It's good. It's okay. I'll start over with the second one after that. If I get both of them done, oh, then God really has mercy and the odds are on my side. So, and I made peace with myself that walking at this pace, through things, through life, it's okay. Not everything is perfect, not everything is meant to happen when we want to. If the most we can do is try and don't give up and start all over again, that's just fine. It will get done, it will be okay. And if anyone complains to you about it, well, then they're free to swap places with you. But sure, I'm always telling everyone, look, I'll do what I can, and that will be more than enough. If I can comply and fulfill your wishes, your expectations, and your requirements, I can. If not, whatever happens, happens. It's okay. It will have to do. So yeah, now I'm, as I said, 3 weeks before the second full infusion. I'm taking things quite, maybe not that slowly, but steady at my pace. I don't overly push myself or force myself. I'm a single parent. I am a single woman. I live on my own with my son, so loads of things are upon my shoulders or on my agenda, and I can only do as much as I can. I can definitely say I don't have the boost that I would have in the first 1-2 months in the infusion. Definitely, I don't know what's your experience. Feel free to fill it in the comment section. But from my point of view, that's my experience until now. The big boosting thing doesn't last longer than maybe 2 months altogether. Then you feel that you need to adjust, and you kind of need to be aware of yourself for your best interest and the ones around you. Surely they need you as able as possible, and you want to be as independent as possible and self-efficient as possible. And I'm looking forward for the new infusion. Still things to do over the summer, so a bit of a boost will be welcome. And I remember the nurse telling me when I said to her, well, sure, look, the first one didn't give me more than 6-7 weeks of a boost, and this second one kind of started to wear off already. And she was on about, that's disappointing, because apparently what you get, it's a bad month after the infusion, the recalibration month, and the bad month before the infusion, when things start to get low and they kind of need recharging. And she says to me, well, stick with it. And I'll mention it to the consultant. But being that OCREVUS at the moment, it's the holy grail on the market, we'll take it. And even more, I had no side effects. All the tests and over tests they ran on me, they came positive enough in their terms for me to be approved for it, and everything was okay until now. And even now, before the second infusion, you are going to get bloods done in the weeks prior to that. So anytime now, I'm expecting a nurse to come at the house, get the bloods done, and get my file ready for the infusion. I had no relapses in 1 year. If before this I had 2 in 1 year, I had no relapse. So even if things can be off at times, sure, unfortunately, I have multiple sclerosis. That's how things are anyway. And they can only be as good as they can. And I can understand this, and I accept it, and I embrace it with the big hope that, of course, things are going to be even better. So the nurse's encouragement would have been to stick on OCREVUS and give it a year or 2 years, and it should start working better to somewhat level. However, she was right, because in these months I was able to do so many things that needed my involvement, physical, mentally. I had to be fully aware and active, and to do things for me and my son. So I can say that I've seen the help, that something must have been given to me and it worked, apart from the fact that some other problems were adjusted and they seem to finally work, and that can only help. From an OCREVUS point of view, I can say that this time, the second time, it helped more. If any of the routine and if any of the little things that got done were due to OCREVUS, well, then it helped. This month, at the end of the month, I will have an MRI, my annual MRI, and after that I will get the infusion done and I will see the consultant. And of course, I'm up for good news. I sure hope and pray that there's no new lesion, that I'm not being scammed over here with me filling in cards in books, and then you get a surprise that you know yourselves. You might think nothing happens, and when you go for an MRI, you get that call, get back here, there's new lesions, you're up for failure again. So hopefully it's not going to be the case this time. Hopefully, and I'm praying for it, and I'm praying for all of you out there that are watching this and that have multiple sclerosis, that are dealing with the whole hurdle of the journey, or that have loved ones that are facing this challenge and this journey. I'm praying for you to don't have any new lesions anytime sooner. Like, no more lesions, never. That sounds good. That sounds like a plan. And let's hope and pray and be confident that rather sooner than later in our lifetime, they will come up with some sort of magic thing that will get everything stopped, if not reversed. At least stopped. There'll be no further progression, no increased disability or difficulty in mobility. So thumbs up. Enjoy every moment of okay, and recognize the okay moments, because we often take for granted moments that are precious. To be able to get yourself a shower, go and do your groceries, cook yourself a dinner, go for a 1 hour or half an hour shopping, read something, give your time to something like I'm now recording this video. I don't take things for granted. These are abilities, these are blessings, these are things that we can do, and we have to make time for them because they're good for us. And if we have big stressors, or if you guys have big stressors, look at the root of the problem. What is the problem? And cut it from the root. Because there is life. There is life in you, ahead of you. Don't be afraid to take big decisions in life. You're never alone. God is always with you. May God bless us all. I hope this video came back not only as an update, but as a keep up, as a boost, as a positive. And it helped with a bit of clearance and input that could give you over how's the journey with OCREVUS. Should I go for it? Is it going to be another freaky thing. Things are going to get complicated. Would I be able to manage? Yes, you will. I had the same fears of, am I up for all the freaky cancers, all the scary things? Nevertheless, everything has side effects, and OCREVUS has side effects, and there is that very slight percent of people that are going through the unfortunate bad journey, if you can call it that way. But the big majority indeed does not. And if OCREVUS is a reason for which things were slightly more manageable, and I was able, more than unable, then I'll take it any time of the year, any day of the year. God bless us all. Hopefully I'll see you in another video, and please, 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 please subscribe to the channel, and just write me down in the comments even the slightest how you call it, suggestion. Should I make more videos in English? Do you guys find it helpful? There are things that I can talk through my experience. The warmth of the evening sunset comes through the curtains and lightens my kitchen. And it was a lovely time. Thank God it was a lovely time giving myself time to do this video. Pam pam. See you in the next video.